Today on America's Court with Judge Ross.
Mr. Bowel, did you refer to your mom as a
In a personal communication, in a moment of anger and...
So it is true what I said.
Is it true what she said about your mother?
In my courtroom, it's about equity and fairness. Stop. Is that true? I don't want you to understand. I want you to overstand.
Yes, sir.
That's why they pay me the big bucks. Justice should be more than just some foreign concept. I actually want you to learn something.
That's not gonna happen. Not up in here, not today.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Gerald Bowel claims his sister posted a brutal online obituary slandering their mother, and says he was unfairly included in the posting and needed therapy after losing his job.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
Mr. Bowel is suing Susan Bowel in the amount of $2,700.
All parties have been sworn, Your Honor.
Clerk to Deputy Thomas. You all are brother and sister, and you lost your mom. Yes?
Yes.
And what we have is that you, Mr. Bauer, are suing your sister for $2,700 based on an obituary that your sister wrote that talks about your mother.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me your story.
Your Honor, my sister, I love my sister, and even though we haven't always been able to speak, there's been some years that have gone by where we haven't spoken. I always think of her, and I wish that we could be in better communication. My love for her is in a way expressed through this suit because she crossed a line with the publishing of this obituary, which was not an obituary. It was a slanderous screed against our mother.
Well, what type of relationship did you have with your mother?
Well, it was difficult.
What made it difficult?
She abandoned both my sister and I when I was 6 and my sister was 4. And
that's tough.
Yeah, she put her parents, our grandparents, to work to raise us, and they were already pretty old, and we didn't have contact with her every other Christmas. But you know what? I grew up, and when I was a man, I put away the things of my childhood, and I moved forward.
I'm going to stop you there for a moment.
Sure.
You're listening to this, Ms. Bowell, and what are you thinking as you're hearing your brother talk?
Thank you. I'm just so disheartened. You know, when you say this lawsuit is out of love, it's actually spot on. He has a history of bullying me. He has a mean streak. He has a history of belittling me and asking me to lie, to pretend like we grew up in some fairy tale. I never really knew my mother. I never had that bond. And I want to be a truth sayer, and I've never been able to do it in my family until I started going to therapy about 10 years ago. And this is me breaking out of the little tiny box you have put me in, and our dysfunctional family has put me in. I think what
but how much of that is your own issue with your mother?
Okay, it is very much my issue with my mother. And I will also say, I don't want him to be in pain. And writing the obituary was difficult, but when I went to continue the lie,
I remember going through this, and when I read your obituary for your mom, I was a little shocked by it. I mean, it's brutal in its depiction of who she was. I mean, you start off by saying, Agnes has finally ceased to be a burden on the living. I mean, that's where you start. And you don't even say she died, you say she expired. I mean, there's a little bit of venom.
It wasn't easy, but I had to say the truth. When you've been silenced your whole life, the truth never comes out the right way.
You said she spent her early years masquerading as a decent human being. I mean, it's just every line. It's like, I'm gonna stick it to you, Mom. And Mom's not even here anymore.
But it is the truth.
Coming up on America's Court.
This lawsuit is my brother's misdirected anger at my mom. He hasn't grieved her, and he will not leave me alone.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program. America's Court is back with the case of Gerald Bowel, who is suing his sister Susan Bowel for libel.
Well, here's the issue, though. You're writing it from your perspective, but then you say she produced 2 children, Gerald and Susan, whom she would eventually discard like refuge. You're speaking as if you're also representing your brother's thoughts. And isn't that the issue?
Can I speak?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. Exactly. The fact that she published that and used the possessive plural pronoun there, we, crossed the line. I had to approach this in the legal framework because she then affected my career. I mean, it's been terrible.
How so, sir?
I couldn't sleep. 2-3 hours at a time. I felt like the whole world that I had tried to create for myself, granted having a fractured childhood, meant that as an adult, I tried to put my life together very, very solidly. And this went to the root of it. Everything was fracturing. I was trying to deal with it in my dreams, and then I wouldn't be able to sleep. So I sought psychiatry for the express purpose to get a script for something to help me, some psychotropic. So that cost a lot.
Agnes will now face judgment. She will not be missed by Gerald and Susan. And they understand that this world is a better place without her. There are no plans for a service. I've never heard an obituary that reads quite like it.
I wish it weren't true. I wish none of it were true. But I can't lie. It's who she was. She did these things with pride and like flying colors and had no remorse for either of us. And
so why not say this is coming from her daughter?
Well, I have a relationship with my brother about my mom, and I have text messages. There's ample evidence. He called her a bee. I wasn't even fueling his emotion. He, said she's selfish. She spreads bad energy anywhere she goes. Enough is enough.
Let me see what you're reading from.
see it?
Yeah, let me see a copy of that.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
If you have it.
Yeah, I was trying to process my own issues.
Mr. Bowel, did you refer to your mom as a
In a personal communication, in a moment of anger and...
So it is true what I said.
Is it true what she said about your mother?
In a private communication that's now being public, which I don't think is fair, because my motive is not...
At least, can you get a heads up first before you do it? Because in the context of how it was said, I called Mom and she was a total to me, no surprise there. That's a whole different feeling than that blankety blank. Why did you even bother calling? I don't even know. It's not like she ever changes. It was dumb of me to do so.
I mean, I also want to say that this lawsuit is my brother's misdirected anger at my mom. He hasn't grieved her, and he will not leave me alone. This was my anger at my mom, and yes, it was personal. It was between me and her, but I need him to leave me alone. I need him to stop bullying me, go to therapy, that you're already going to, thank goodness, and process your own trauma. You cannot move on from what happened until you acknowledge it. This is all him not processing the death of our mother.
Well, not even just the death. While she was alive, you wrote, Mr. Bowel, should I reach out for Mother's Day? I was thinking about sending a card. And then you say, Miss Bowel, why? And then you said, she's our mother. And then you write, could have fooled me. So you had a challenging relationship with the woman that you call Mom. Were there any lies told that your sister publicly stated?
Lies? She's entitled to her opinion. She's just not allowed.
No, I'm not talking about her opinion. I'm saying, was there anything that she said that also didn't apply to how you felt?
Most of it. The tone, the language expired, as you said, like an old bottle of milk. It's normally when someone dies, we think of the positive things in their life. This is the polar opposite of that. And to me, it just expresses my sister's need to, therapy can't help. She needs to go to the public. She needs to go to the...
Everybody needs to know that this is how this woman treated her, and she's going to make sure that no stone is left unturned when it comes to besmirching her name.
Exactly. And
how is this a legal case for you to assert that you are entitled to compensation, though? Well,
several things. First, the psychiatry was not covered by my insurance. The drugs were, but the sessions were not covered.
So you feel as though your sister should pay for your therapy dealing with your mother?
As I mentioned before, with my life.
No, I'm asking. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, in a way, it's a nominal number.
All right.
Coming up on America's Court.
I mean, you understand that, right?
Absolutely, and I never intended for that to happen. I have to say, though, it's so nice being in this environment because he has a mean streak. He is a bully.
This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program. America's Court is back with the case of Gerald Bowel, who is suing his sister Susan Bowel for libel.
So that $2,700 represents therapy sessions?
Yes, recouping on that. But Your Honor, can I mention the other parts that
Yes, sir.
I was up for promotion, and because of this being on social media, they called me into HR and they denied me this promotion.
And what was the basis of them calling you and denying the promotion?
The tenor of this...
Because other people were reading it and responding to it?
Yeah, and it goes against the heart of my company, which I love. This is not representative of me. And so the fact that they called me in and then they took the promotion away from me was, I don't know if I've ever had such a gut punch. I mean, this is what I've been...
Essentially, if I'm understanding correctly, the company was like, okay, you're embarrassing us on your social media. Get it together.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, you understand that, right?
Absolutely. And I never intended for that to happen. I have to say, though, it's so nice being in this environment because he has a mean streak. He is a bully. I would never have this conversation alone with you because every time we've brought something up, he's yelling. His losing that promotion, I don't know, but I think that his lack of accountability, his pattern of blaming me and scapegoating me for problems in your own life, this lawsuit is just a further, like you said, an expression of love. You know, it's just a further expression.
But we also have the proof.
That's not, you lost the promotion because of your behavior and you're blaming it on me.
That's your interpretation.
Coming up on America's Court.
I don't want you to hurt. Okay, but I've had a really hard life because of all of this, and I just did the best I could to move on.
This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program. America's Court is back with the case of Gerald Bowel, who is suing his sister Susan Bowel for libel.
What this letter is saying is, you lost the promotion because of some business that was handled outside to the public that maybe should have been kept between you and your sister and your family. And now you're reflecting poorly on us. The values are the bedrock of which everything else stands. You can't maintain a professional image. So he has proof that he lost money. Now, do you have proof of how much money that we're talking about? Because you said that there was an issue regarding the therapy.
Right.
But you didn't provide any information, unless I'm wrong, about the cost associated with you losing this promotion.
I didn't actually put that into this suit because it's unknowable, really. I mean, I know it was going to be maybe about a 6 or 7% raise, which is
But you can't
significant.
prove that. You don't have any definitive. All right, I get it. I understand. Anything else, ma'am?
Yeah, I will say I did not foresee that, and I apologize for that and for any pain that you had. I do love you too, and I apologize for any I don't want you to hurt, okay? But I've had a really hard life because of all of this, and I just did the best I could to move on.
Judge Ross's verdict when America's Court returns. This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy-nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program.
Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel is going to come down in favor of the defendant. This is not an easy decision for me. But the reality that I have to deal with is that she did not defame you if she's telling information that's factually true. And that's the issue with defamation. Now, if any of this information was false, then that could lead to you having a claim to establish, because that's one of the elements. That's one of the reasons that people are able to succeed with defamation. And it requires negligence on the part of the person that is doing the defaming. An absolute truth is, but did I lie? And she didn't, based on your own testimony. Your matter's dismissed. That is the order. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case has been dismissed.
I hope we can have a relationship.
And respect to you based on what it said, though I still disagree, but we can talk about it.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.